Well, howdy diddly dandy there. Chums, 'tis I, Captain of the Steves. Now, if you look up here at the bar above the Quicksilver store, you can see that another Quicksilver item has unlocked-icated. Let's head on over and let's grab that item, shall we? It's a cold cup nest plant. And as you can see, I'm sitting in a vest top right now. It's summertime in the UK. I'm not 100% sure why we're being given wintry goods at this time of year, but we've got 2 more left to go. A flowering chillwood and a chillwood are yet to come inside of the store. After those items are some peaking fauna banners, and then we've got some deserty plants. Now, not all of these things are showing inside of the No Man's Sky Assistant app. I have hit up the Assistant app to ask exactly when they're going to be updated. But right now, what we have showing currently is the cold cup plants. Let me make myself a little bit larger on the old screen. So here's the cold cup plants. After those is the peeping fauna banner. There's also a peeping fauna decal that's been added into the mix as well, chums. I mean, that's the banner. The decal is like a round version of that banner. That's coming next, and after that there's some plumage type plants coming. Sorry, chums, when I say desert type plants, they're not really. They're kind of like these things. They're like these strange clumps of jungle plantage. Jungle plantage is coming next, chums. And then after those, we've got all these. Now, they look like expedition badges to me, more so than anything. So I'm wondering whether we might get all those jungle plants after the peeping fauna banner. There's the decal that I mentioned at the bottom there as well. But then I'm wondering whether we might get some sort of expedition and update, and maybe we might get these as part of the expedition. But they are labelled as Quicksilver items, but they just look like, they just look so much like expedition badges, you know. So who knows, people. But there we go. That's everything that's inside the Quicksilver store, and everything that's been sent to me by Dragon Sire, who's gone inside the game files to get all those lovely images. So thank you very much, Dragon Sire, for hitting me up with those. But other than that, when do I think there might be an update coming? Well, let's just jump over to the old Tinterweb, shall we, for a moment, people? Captain Steve, oh Captain Steve, oh Captain. Heck yeah, why not hit that like and subscribe? Thank you very much. Chums, we all know that there's an experimental branch, and that experimental branch has got an update in it, 5.73, and we've been waiting on it now for long over 10 days. The last time I updated my No Man's Sky, if I hit on updates, was back on the 13th of June. At the time of recording, this is the 30th of June, and it experimental branch still hasn't released the update as of yet. So, on the 16th of June, Sean of the Murrays over on Twitter actually put out experimental build push to PCs with upcoming fixes to all platforms. If you open up this, you can see down here that the experimental branch starts on the 16th of the 6th, but we've also got updates on the 20th of the 6th. There's a whole load of new patches inside of this, which is pretty darn freaking cool. And some of these we really do need. It's like there's one that stops your buildings that haven't got terminals. Here we go. It fixed an issue that could cause medium dwellings and settlements to generate without a terminal. I've had that happen in at least one of my settlements that I'm currently working on. So there's a lot in here that I would like to see come into fruition and come into game. A little bit further down though, I mean, this is when 3.73 was sort of teased, was around about the 17th of the 6th. So it's a little bit, we've been waiting on this one for a long time, and I'm not 100% sure why we've been waiting for this for a long time. However, there has been a mild hint as to why we might be waiting for all of these to come into the actual public domain, and I'll get onto that now. Okay, so if you jump on over to Martin Griffiths, I mean, he's a programmer over at good old Hello of the Games, works on visual styles and all that sort of shenanigans when it comes to Hello Games, and is an awesome guy. He's quite vocal about what he's up to. And as you scroll on down, you know, he's always sharing images and stuff like that from the community. The guy's pretty darn cool. I mean, this looks like Mario Kart World, created in No Man's Sky. Freaking awesome engine. But here we go. He mentions the fixes, and this was on the 27th of June, so this is fairly recent news. I did a very shorts video on this. However, I figured I'd do a long format video because I know not everybody picks up on shorts, but here we go. There's a ton of fixes coming in the next No Man's Sky update. But close to my heart are two things that I've now coded up, which just missed the original release. Okay. Support for terrain tessellation on Switch 2, which significantly enhances the surface details, allowing landscapes to appear smoother and more intricate at close range. Support for creature fur rendering on Switch 2 as well. Making its way, there's also some optimization that gives large improvements to our 40 frames per second unlocked mode, making the game significantly smoother. So, and then you can see some of the tessellation effects there, and I hope that's a Switch 2 screenshot. But then there's a link that takes us back to that same Steam page with the experimental branch with the same lists that I mentioned before. So it looks like it went back into the oven. Because on here, I'm not seeing much mention of those Switch 2 things. I mean, there is here about the Switch 2 preventing screenshots. Oh, there you go. Implemented support of the terrain tessellation. So it is mentioned there anyway. And also the fur rendering is also mentioned there. So that could be why it's gone a little bit backwards and forwards. But some of those bits are now polished and coming in. So it could just be that Switch 2 has held it back just a little bit, maybe, but I don't know. I don't know why we haven't seen it come over to all platforms yet, unless there's been problems reported over an experimental branch. Now, you can check the comments and feedback, but a lot of these date back to the 16th. So, you know. You can go to the newest of comments. I've gone to the 29th, which is yesterday right now. Sweet. So you can see here, I fear we need to realise one thing. It was planned to favour everything for Switch 2 and its graphics for now, and we'll take 200 Switch 2 customers, even though we lose 100 PC ones, and then we'll see. There's a lot of people that are feeling that, you know, favouritism has gone to the Switch 2. The Switch 2 is their newest platform, and Hello Games is getting their sales, I'd imagine, predominantly from Switch 2 people picking it up. You know, they've already had their money from the PC players and so forth and so on, I would imagine. So I'd imagine they are going to prioritise those. Also, when you think about the actual update that we just got, the whole settlements type thing, I just feel that the actual content itself, with all these time gates, like you play for an hour, do all your settlements, wait for 2 hours, go back and do the next step, it kind of fits the Nintendo Switch 2. You know, you're going to have to put that thing back on charge every now and again, aren't you? Depending on how you play, obviously. But it does feel like an update more aligned to the Switch 2. And I kind of feel that the update that we just had for the Switch 2, or to No Man's Sky, is just there as like a bit of a plug, if you like. It's just something else. It's not any meat on the bones, really. You know, it just feels a little bit of fluff. It feels very time gated. It feels like it's purposely there just to generate some content for people to get their hands on until something bigger and better drops, you know? That's kind of what I think is happening. I mean, I could be wrong. But there's a few people here reporting a few different issues and errors. You can go back a page. There's a heck of a lot in here where people are saying, what's going on with this sort of patch? Why isn't it out yet? You know, my settlements are still bugged out. I really need this patch to come in. And that's kind of where I am with this. I mean, I have struggled and I have managed to play it, but it hasn't been easy. It really hasn't been easy, people. So yeah, if you've been watching my settlements playthrough and this whole new update for beacons, you'll see that I've struggled at times, and I still am struggling. I'm going to be going live this evening with the settlements that I've got currently, and I'm hoping to go around the planets that my settlements are on and name all the creatures after the people inside of my live chat. So be there for that if you want, if you like the sounds of that, if you want to be immortalised on my planet. And yeah, I'm going to do 2 tonight. I'm going to go to 2 settlements and name all the creatures on those 2 planets and have a little bit of an exploration. And then tomorrow, on Tuesday, I'm going to do the same again. So if you do manage to miss tonight, same again tomorrow. And I usually go live 6 p.m. 6 p.m. UK time. But anyway, people, that's all the news I have for you when it comes to current. If you wanted me to predict and speculate when I think the next update's going to be, I think we've got to get these cold items out of the Quicksilver store, and also the Peepin' Fauna banner and decal, and perhaps even the jungle type things that I showed you earlier. So after those 3 base parts, the jungle base parts, I'm a little bit dubious about those patches, those because they look like expedition patches. I don't know whether they're going to come in as Quicksilver or as expedition rewards. So I'm holding my breath there, but I'm saying, I'm tabling, considering that we're on the 1st of July tomorrow, I don't think we're going to see the update because of all those Quicksilver things that have still got to go. I think tail end of July, maybe even early part of August. Now, we have got the No Man's Sky meetup in August. And every August, Hello Games, not saying that they will, I'm not saying they're obliged to, but they usually put a cake at the meetup. And every time we've opened up the box to have a look at the cake, it's got the latest box art of No Man's Sky on the front. I'm wondering if this year we might see the likes of Light No Fire appear on the front of the cake. But I've got a feeling that we're going to see some sort of update between now and the meetup that is worthy of cake art. Okay? Yeah, I'm basing speculation on a freaking cake. You know, that's what my life has come to now, people. So there we go. It might look like this. Ah, dear me. But anyway, people, I think tail end of July, early part of August, latest maybe mid-August, but I think we might get to see something fairly substantial that might warrant cake art. Yes. But until next time, people, salute Mondo. Goodbye, goodbye, and goodbye again.